Sorry about the confusion.
No problem. Okay. And we are live.
Great, thank you.
We're just waiting for Dr. West.
All right.
She should be able to join with her panelist link now that the webinar started.
Great.
So,
And I'm seeing our attendees ramp up too, so.
perfect. All right, guys, then I'm going to pop off, but I will be on Slack if you need help.
Thanks so much.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
To all the attendees joining, sorry about our late start this morning. We had a little bit of technology issues, but just wanted to let you know we're going to wait for folks to go ahead and join. So we're going to take 2 to 3 minutes for everyone to get situated and get started. Good morning, Dr. West. I was just apologizing to our attendees for our technology concerns. I had been put in as a panelist, but not the host. But we're all good now. So again, folks, we'll take 2 or 3 minutes, wait for folks to join us, and then we'll go from there. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Is everyone seeing this correctly? Great. Well, we'll get started with introductions. My name is Robert Schlepper. I am the Student Services Manager for Cleveland State Global. We're really excited to have you with us this morning. Again, my apologies for the late start with some of our technology concerns this morning. But again, we're going to go over who we are at Cleveland State Global and just some of the offerings that the university has. So I will pass it over to Lynn.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Lynn Mensch. I'm the Director of Admissions. I've been at CSU for about 5 years, working in higher education, closer to 10. So very excited to speak to you all today. And just a little bit of background on me. I did get my master's degree from Cleveland State. I got my MBA in the College of Business. So happy to be here with you today.
Dr. West, would you like to introduce yourself? You're on mute.
I'm always on mute. My name is Sarah West, and I am the academic coordinator for Cleveland State Global. Like Lynn, I am a graduate of Cleveland State University. I have a master's degree in educational evaluation and assessment, and I have my PhD from our College of Education and Human Services with a focus on urban education policy. My role at Global is to make sure that students are organized in their courses, make good academic progress. I work with you to communicate to departments what you need and what your questions are. I do advising, follow-up, anything that deals with your academic life. And I'm just excited to meet everybody and welcome you to our webinar.
Wael, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Wael Bahor. I'm a student services advisor here at Global. I've been with Cleveland State prior to coming to Global for about 4 to 5 years. Been in higher education for about 13 years. I also graduated from Cleveland State University, but my role here is when you start is to make sure I provide you with all the resources and information you're going to need to be successful at the university, but also living here in Cleveland when you're able to arrive. So we just want to make sure we get you all the information you're going to need, all the resources, whether it be finance information or just about any questions you have. I can be your contact person to guide you and get you to who you need to speak with.
All right, thank you so much, Wael. So again, welcome to our webinar this morning. We're going to go ahead and go through some of just facts and figures and a little bit about who we are, what our university does, our size, things like that. So I wanted to start with Cleveland State by the numbers. So we're located in the heart of downtown Cleveland on Lake Erie. And those of you that aren't familiar with Cleveland, we're about halfway between New York and Chicago. Those are a little bit larger, more familiar cities perhaps, about 5.5 hours either direction to those cities. And our university is home to about 17,000 students, and we're continuing to grow. We have over 1,000 international students, which I think is a really great testament to the fact that so many students really want to come here. Cleveland as a city itself is very diverse, very multicultural. So there's just a lot of incredible pieces that our university community brings to the table in terms of diversity and multiculturalism and a number of different perspectives. So we are continually and consistently listed as one of America's best colleges and universities, certainly in STEM fields. Those areas have been highly popular for us because of the ability for us to connect with local businesses and regional industry that are looking for STEM graduates, which is really great. We were recently ranked #1 in the nation for increases in research expenditures according to the National Science Foundation. And that's actually a pretty incredible accolade, because ultimately what that's saying is the investment in students and the dollars that are committed to research is among the top priorities for our university. So again, great place to study. #18 in public universities for upward mobility and research, a top engineering school. And then we have $679 million of economic impact annually, and that was as of 2015. I know now we're approaching 800 million. So again, the growth there is really pretty incredible. So when I think about Cleveland as a city, it really is a pretty incredible place to live. A lot of revitalization and a lot of different pieces. So it's definitely been a community of industry and culture. We have 8 Fortune 500 companies. We have world-class hospitals, among the best hospitals, not even in the United States, but in the world. And we've got a number of cultural pieces: the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Gordon Square Art District. We have the second largest theater district in the United States outside of Broadway in New York City. So just culturally and in terms of economic growth and ability, so many different things to do and see. So some of the top places to work in Cleveland, we've got the NASA Glenn Research Center, SCORE Marketing. Our own university is one of the larger employers in the county. Case Western Reserve University is our neighbor university just immediately to the east of us. Metro Health is a large hospital system, Third Federal, Cleveland Clinic, Sherwin-Williams, Progressive Insurance, just a few of these, again, Fortune 500 companies that are in Cleveland Metro. I kind of wanted to draw your attention to the fact that we are one of the cities with the lowest cost of living. This was according to Niche magazine in 2019. I dare say that we are probably even less expensive and a higher rank than #16. I know that I've seen statistics where Cleveland is among the top 5 least expensive large cities in the United States. And it's a reason why so many of us that have lived in other spaces have decided to move back, to raise families here and to work and live in Cleveland. It is the second largest city in Ohio, but comically, I don't know that I accept that statistic either. I think it's the biggest city. Our capital, Columbus, is larger, but only by population. The city itself and the cityscape is much smaller than Cleveland. So again, Cleveland is a real city. And again, the Fortune 500 presence here is pretty incredible. We are a really welcoming place because of our multiculturalism and diversity. And then just access to transportation and air. It's about 19 kilometers to Cleveland Hopkins International Airport from downtown where the university is, so not too far. So Cleveland's mantra and mission, Cleveland State, is ready, set, engage. So again, we're a public research institution. We have 10 colleges and schools and more than 175 academic programs, which is pretty incredible. We have what's called the engaged learning approach, and it all centers on setting up students for success and opportunity. So back in 2015, we did what was called the $100 million fundraising campaign for CSU. It was just called Engage. And the campaign focused on student success outcomes, personal, academic, and professional. And this is something that we truly believe in as a Cleveland State Global team. We don't want to just get students admitted and accepted to the university. Obviously, that's important. We really want students to thrive from the moment that they're admitted all the way until they cross the stage of graduation. So it's important for us longitudinally to make sure that students are supported. Our president has a really incredible quote here. He said that universities are about people, opportunity, and place, where experiences and formative years shape our lives forever. At CSU, the Office of the President is dedicated to enhancing our learning environment to best serve students, faculty, and staff alike, as well as the broader community. So there's really an incredible commitment to the entire community. We love our students. We want to make sure that our students are well taken care of, but there's a commitment to faculty support and staff support, and the fact that it really is a family, that people really do look after each other here. What I love as well, I have a K through 12 teaching background and administration myself. So the fact that we have a campus international school and a STEM high school situated on or immediately adjacent to our campus is a pretty incredible testament to the fact that we want to be in and of the community, and we want to bring high school students, middle school students onto our campus to truly make it a community space. We also have a Center for Innovation in Medical Professions and partner with area and local hospitals. We have our arts campus, which is at Playhouse Square. We are immediately adjacent to Playhouse Square. And as I mentioned, it is the second largest theater district in the United States. And then our College of Engineering has a maker space, which is a really incredible space to develop and build things, to tinker and play. If you're interested in inventing something or designing something, it's a space for you to really work and collaborate with other students to, bring things to the cutting edge that you think might be really cool pieces to invent. So when I think about our engaged learning, the idea of connecting students to internships and other opportunities comes immediately to mind. And we have a number of experiential learning opportunities. So we have what's called the Out of This World experience at the NASA Glenn Research Center. So we have a long-standing partnership with NASA's John H. Glenn Research Center, and it's where students work in research and business roles. Dozens of our students participate in internships in the aerospace center every year. These positions are definitely providing invaluable career experiences and networking opportunities. And the fact that we have it in our own backyard is pretty incredible. I wanted to look at one of our student spotlights. Rahini received an Outstanding Achievement in Research Award. So she is a PhD candidate in regulatory biology and received the Outstanding Achievement in Research Award at the 7th Annual Cleveland State interdisciplinary conference. And her research focuses on the role of diet on the circadian clock and age-related pathologies. So again, whatever it is that you're interested in, if you're interested in space research or diet as it relates to how you sleep, you can really study anything at Cleveland State. So I love this quote here from our director of the Business Development Center. She says, "It's exciting to see students from different disciplines form teams and make connections to continue to advance their business ideas." So again, this idea of community and collaboration. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. West, if that is okay. And she is going to speak to you a little bit more about our academic offerings and then some of our STEM designations.
Thank you. So again, I wanted to welcome everyone. So in the United States, STEM typically stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Sometimes you'll see it with a second M, which also stands for medicine. And the good news is that when courses or programs are designated as STEM, it allows students who come into the United States on that F1 visa a 24-month extension after graduation so that you can do supervised co-op, internship, OPT, and that's really important because we want you to have an opportunity to work and establish yourself as a professional before either you move to a different city in the United States or you go back to your home country to be with friends and family and advance your own career. So on the next slide, you'll see that we have a number of programs and courses that have been designated as STEM. And they are not all necessarily within the College of Engineering, although they can be. You know, the engineering principles are STEM, but there are other programs across the college, including in biology, chemistry, and we do offer pure chemistry as a major, although some students take chemistry with the purpose of going into the pharmaceutical sciences, and that's okay too. Mathematics, the Bachelor of Science, is a STEM designation, and again, that's more of a pure mathematics. And then, of course, all of the programs in engineering. In the College of Business, you'll notice that the STEM designation is applied to the info systems major, and we have information systems at both the undergraduate and the graduate level. So again, these are some of our programs. We have students are very creative when it comes to creating their majors. We have many students who do a blended major, a double major in 2 disciplines. So those are options for you at the undergraduate level. And I'm happy to talk with any student who has an interest in either a single very focused major, or maybe you like a number of things and your career is such that you feel you need a broader background, and we can help you with that as well. In the next slide, I do want to focus again specifically on the College of Business, where again that information systems major lives, but other majors do as well. Accountancy, operation supply chain management, which is a thriving major at Cleveland State. And it's more of a newish major. I won't say new, but I think we've been very responsive to the needs of, as Dr. Schlepper said, the needs of the industries in our area. And OSM is a critical piece of that business line. One of the alumni that is focused on this slide is Radhika Reddy. She is from India. She's a graduate from the School of Business in '91. But what she does now, she does live in Cleveland, and she and her business partner rehabilitate historic buildings for commercial purposes. So they keep the integrity of the building and the structure of the building, but they use them for technology conferences, weddings, other events, so that people in the community not only have the advantage of using the buildings for business, but then we also have them for sort of their historic and aesthetic value. And I love the fact that she is a woman leading her own business. Her partner is also a woman, a graduate of CSU, and they're really making a headway and doing great things for our city. And I think that's one of the ways in which newcomers to our city, immigrants to our city, contribute to the diversity of our intellectual and community life. And that's important to us. In the next slide, we talk about the College of Engineering. If you look under that lighted sign where it says the College of Engineering, in that basement space is where Robert was saying that we have that maker space. And that's sort of in the basement where all of the big machines are, again, open to students, supervised by other student leaders and tutors so that they can teach you how to use that stuff. And you might be already very familiar with it. So the good news is the building, that particular building is new, and our managing director, Rose Bagala, was a dean in the College of Engineering during the time it was constructed. So she's very familiar with the ins and outs of the College of Engineering. We're very familiar with their course offerings in terms of the types of labs they offer, in types of resources they offer, research opportunities. One thing I did want to make mention of is that undergraduates at Cleveland State typically do have an opportunity to work in research alongside principal investigators, graduate students. I've had several students work in the genetics lab, which is part of that regulatory biology division, because they excelled. They came in, they did great in their coursework, they showed an interest, we got them connected with the right faculty. I've had students work in physics labs. One of our physics professors studies clouds and cloud formations as part of climate change. I've had undergraduate students work with him. I currently have an undergraduate student who is working at NASA in chemical engineering, and she's working in incendiaries and other types of fuels. And so these opportunities do exist, and they're real. They're not hypothetical, you could do this. We have students who are doing it right now. And that's the exciting part. Being located where we are puts us in proximity to the types of industries that you may see yourself excelling in and working in as you grow in your profession. On the next slide, I did want to talk about the fact that CSU, because we're located in the city and because we have a strong alumni network, that part becomes very important. The alumni network can really open doors for you, not only in the United States, but around the world. So again, your vision may be to come to the United States to learn and work and then go back home. That's okay, because we know where our alumni are living and we can connect you with them. Again, some of the companies where I personally have worked with students doing great work, Sherwin-Williams, global paint company. I've had students work at Parker Hannifin. I've had students work at Lincoln Electric, which is another big company here in Cleveland. And then I know Rose has had students in all of those and more. So we do have a strong co-op office that can help you with placement. Oftentimes companies will come to us seeking students for specific positions. We have a career services office that is more than willing to help you, but I also do too. So I will work with you on perfecting your resume, working with interview skills, practice interviews. All of that is part of what we offer. Aside from just, here are your classes, now go to school, it's all of that other skill sets that we help you work through in making sure that you're prepared for work and that you're going to be successful. Career services, as I mentioned, is available. Career services can also assist with you in finding a job on campus when you come, and we know that that's important. We know that having a regular income is critical for all students. It certainly was for me as a graduate student. I know for the rest of the team it was as well. And so we want to make sure that you have opportunities to work within the ambit of your visa, and then also be prepared to work when you move further on. And we can connect you with all of those. Any questions about academics? I will put my email in the chat, and then I will turn it back over to Dr. Schlepper.
Thank you, Dr. West. Again, appreciate you going through a lot of the academics. We have such a robust and profound number of things to study. It's really pretty incredible just to kind of listen to it. So I wanted to speak a little bit about our campus. Again, we are an urban campus. We are immediately downtown Cleveland, but we do have a real campus, which I always love to point out because a lot of times an urban campus means that it's just spread out throughout buildings across the city, and that's not the case with us. We actually have quads and green space dormitories, which is pretty cool. So we have modern residence halls. We have more than 200 student organizations. We have student government, academic social clubs, intramural sports, if that's what you're into. You can get involved with community service, Greek life, etc. So we have our own dedicated staff that supports international students. We have a commuter lounge within our own offices. We do our own events. The campus has an amazing rec center with an Olympic-sized pool, fitness classes, machines, equipment. Our student center in the middle of campus is really the hub of campus, multiple dining options, our bookstore, all of our student org offices, computer labs, lounges, etc. So really a pretty robust campus space for everyone to enjoy. So when I think about housing, we've got a lot of different options for whatever students are interested in, if they're undergrad or grad, if they want to live on campus, they want to live off campus. We've got options for all students. So we've got Euclid Commons, which houses about 600 students, and it's conducive to academic success because of its proximity. It is immediately across the street from actually our offices, which is really nice. It's very close to the center of campus, so you can easily access classes. And that's one of our university dormitories. The Langston Apartments are an independent facility that we partner with. It is also immediately across the street from the engineering building. The Langston Apartments offer restaurants and cafes, street level dining, and it's college style living. So I've been in this particular space. They're really beautiful apartments. It's really nice. Fenn Tower is really right in the middle of campus. It has been restored to a state-of-the-art residence. It houses about 440 students. It feels like a really old hotel when you walk in at the street level. It's a really beautiful place. It was also the original engineering building. And then we have Reserve Square, which is about 2 blocks off of campus. It's in the heart of downtown, and again in the theater district. And you never really have to leave home to run errands. They have a convenience store within the building, on-site dry cleaning. There's dining options. You can even rent a car in the lobby. So it's a really nice space to get everything that you need. It is the #2 most affordable state in the United States when we think about Ohio. So again, we have 50 states in the United States, and to be among the top 5 most affordable, it really kind of gives you some idea for those that are definitely, dollar conscious, that it's a great place to live. It's inexpensive, so you can focus on your academics. You're not as much worried about the pinch of housing and having to manage those pieces as well. So I want to speak a little bit about our signature student experience, and Cleveland State Global prides itself on making sure that we are giving students the best possible experience that they can. So as an international student that enrolls through the Cleveland State Global program, you get access to exclusive programs and services as part of your graduate or undergraduate degree. So we want to make your transition as easy and productive as possible. So from application support to pre-arrival guidance, campus transition, picking you up at the airport, orientations, cultural outings, over to academic support, making sure that you have everything that you need to be successful. If you feel that there's a gap in your English and your proficiency in that regard, we have offices and individuals to support there, tutoring as well. And then, as Dr. West mentioned earlier, career growth with professional development, internship and co-op assistance, and then assisting you with the job search. So we've talked a little bit about COVID-19. We live in a really interesting space right now globally, and there's a lot of uncertainty. But we can definitively say that Cleveland State University and Cleveland State Global are really closely monitoring the situation across the globe. In the summer terms, which we are in the midst of right now, classes have been moved to online learning. But in the fall, the campus is going to be opening in what we call a hybrid capacity. So obviously there's going to be some impact to the campus experience, but the way that it's looking is that if you have a lab or you have something that is a hands-on course or ancillary piece of a course, you'll probably be on campus. If you have a course that's more of a lecture or you could take the class remotely, it will probably be remote. So kind of a hybrid approach as of this fall. And again, it's all in the interest of keeping students safe. So making sure that social distancing is happening, making sure that students are, not in where there's so many of them in one space. So again, really focusing on student safety. So again, we have a number of digital learning experiences, which brings us to the introduction of American Collegiate Live. So American Collegiate Live is in partnership with our partner Shorelight Education. And again, real professors are teaching classes in real time via live to device technology. We are really specific to time zone, so we really want to make sure that our English support and translation is available for you. And then campus connections, and before you start, support with our advisors. And then obviously our enrollment management team can help you with visa preparation and consulate monitoring for when you do decide to come to campus. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this next slide. So this is one of our students. I would encourage students to turn their volume all the way up because the recording on this is a little bit quiet, but this is one of the students in one of our STEM fields. His name is Mohan.
Hello, my name is Mohan Bhai Patel and I am from India. I'm majoring in Masters of Computer and Information Science here at Cleveland State University. Being at Cleveland State University is advantage because it is located in downtown location. As I said, I can experience downtown life here. And another thing is after my graduation, I can go do my research at NASA Global Center, which is located here in Cleveland itself. There is a second biggest hospital available, Cleveland Clinic. We can go and do our internship over there as well. So I really had a great time and experience with the Cleveland State Global. They helped me a lot with my study, my airport pickup. They are very friendly. They are very supportive. They keep you updated with each and every information via email and text. So as we guys know that COVID-19 happened during spring 2020 semester. So Cleveland State University had to move their classes towards online. So for that, Cleveland State University provided hotspot connection, and also they distributed computers for those students who really needs computer access. So they can study their classes, they can attend their classes online, remotely on Zoom meeting or Blackboard meeting. So Cleveland State University is very supportive. For upcoming new student at Cleveland State University, I'm suggesting you that don't ever hesitate to come here. This is the right place. They're gonna make your future bright here, and I'm really excited to see you guys here.
All right, so that was a testimonial from one of our students, and he's really a great kid. So again, students having really great experiences here. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to our Director of Admissions, Lynn Mensch, and she's gonna talk about some of our application requirements.
Thank you. So we have a lot of important dates coming up for all of you. If you are interested in submitting an application, brand new application, or if you've already applied but you've been, considering and your application is currently incomplete, the application deadline is July 21st. So make sure to get all your documents in, get everything finalized by this date. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out. My email's in the chat. The payment deadline will be shortly after that on August 3rd. And then all students that are intending to come on campus this fall will need to arrive by August 17th. That's when your move-in and check-in all begins, and then your orientation and lots of other on-campus programming will start on the 18th. So again, the application deadline is July 21st, and then you need to be on campus by August 17th. Now, if any of you are not able to make it to campus, just keep in mind that for undergraduate students, we do recommend that if you're outside the United States and starting online, to really consider American Collegiate Live, that we lovingly call AC Live. It's a wonderful way to start your degree programs in a virtual environment, in your own time zone. There's lots of local support, and it's a great way to keep on track with your degree, and then you can join us on campus at a later semester when you feel comfortable and when everything calms down. So here are the admission requirements. So again, please go ahead and submit an application through our admissions portal if you haven't done so already. We need a few documents from you. So of course, we need to see your academic transcripts and a degree certificate if you have already graduated. So in some educational systems, all of this information is on a single document, meaning it confers your degree and it shows the classes that you took and the grades you received. In other countries, there are multiple documents. Sometimes your grades and your classes are on one document, and then your degree name and the date that you received it are a whole nother thing. So we need all of that. We do require it in your native language, so whatever your school naturally issues the document in, and then an English translation if that is not in English. We also, oh sorry, could you go back real quick? Thank you. We also need English proficiency scores. So we do accept TOEFL, IELTS, ITEP, all of the traditional scores. But if any of you are having difficulty either accessing a test center or getting payment through, there's lots of different things that are currently happening given the COVID environment. We are accepting the Duolingo English test for the fall 2020 semester. And that's very convenient, it's very affordable. So I really recommend, if you haven't taken a test yet already, to consider the Duolingo. We're only accepting it for fall as of now. We don't have any details on if it would be accepted in a future semester. So again, I definitely recommend trying to get everything done for fall. And then the rest of these documents, for all of you as an undergrad, you don't need to worry about the math self-evaluation. That's a graduate requirement. But you will be required to submit a statement of understanding. That document is basically asking you to carefully review the information in our enrollment contract, making sure you understand what you're signing up for. And then the statement of understanding, or SOU as we call it, is basically you signing off to that. Then we also require your passport and then financial documents for in order to issue your immigration documents. And yeah, so hopefully you feel it's very simple and convenient. Given that we are a public university, the admissions process is pretty simple comparatively. So yeah, I think next we're just gonna give you a point to ask some questions, and we'd love to chat.
Lynn, students in the chat had two questions. Number one, ITEP would still be accepted?
Yes, we do accept ITEP scores. That's correct.
And Peter wanted to know if there is an English exemption. Is there an exemption for students whose first country speaks English?
Yes. So we do have a list, and this list can vary by university. So let me see if I can get up. If the student wants to mention which country they were educated in, I'd be welcome to answer that. So again,
Sure.
we base this off of where you were educated, not your country of citizenship. So it's really based off of, you know, the information we have on that educational system if we feel the student would be successful in an English speaking educational environment without any additional English education. So we'll see what we get in the chat.
Oh, and then the follow-up on the ITEP was, what is the benchmark score?
Sure. So for ITEP, we require a 3.8. So I know that sounds very low, but the ITEP scoring system is different. So 3.8 on the ITEP. Yes, perfect. Thank you. So someone's asking about the English exemption. So I'll try to list ones that we get questions about pretty frequently. So you probably won't be surprised that, for example, some English speaking countries like New Zealand, Australia are on our list. But other than that, I get this question a lot from students from African countries. And if we have any students either from Nigeria or Ghana, we get a lot of applications from those two. You would be exempt from submitting English proficiency. Also Kenya, I think of what other common ones we see. Those are typically the big three. Also Zimbabwe, Uganda. There are a number of others. So again, if the students are curious and want to list, again, the country you were educated in, then I'd be happy to answer those.
I don't see anything else popping up.
Okay.
All right. Well, again, we're getting relatively close to time. We want to be cognizant of everybody's afternoons, evenings, wherever they are. We've got about 8-9 minutes left, but you can always certainly reach out to us. We have this entire piece broadcasted and recorded, so obviously we can send this out to those if anybody wants to watch again. But you can certainly reach out to us or to any of your enrollment advisors about additional questions that you may have about Cleveland State, Cleveland in general. We're always glad to take your questions, and don't be afraid to reach out to us. So if there are no other questions for us, we want to thank you again for joining us. We've been really happy to present to all of you. And we hope that you will make Cleveland State your home in the next either fall or on into the spring. But we're really excited to have the opportunity to present to you today. So again, please reach out to us with any further questions. And thank you for joining us. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.